Well, clearly General Soleimani was no friend of America. He had had Americans' blood on his hands, and he'd been an advocate for violence around the region led by Iran and Iranian proxies for more than 2 decades. There was a threat. The question that I still need to get answered is, has the administration thought through all the ramifications of their action? I believe this would have been a better outcome would have been if the administration had briefed congressional leaders beforehand, briefed our allies beforehand. Sometimes, whether it's an ally or whether it's a congressional leader, can ask that question that maybe a very insular group didn't get asked. I'm also concerned that if you look around the region over the last few months, you've seen anti-Iranian protests in Lebanon. You've seen the people of Iran themselves rise up against their repressive regime. You've seen protests in Iraq against Iranian influence. My fear is that all that anger may no longer be directed at the Iranians or the Iranian regime, but directed at the United States. And I know the President and Secretary of State have said they're trying to de-escalate. I think the jury is out on that. I hope they're successful on that. I think they could have brought in more congressional leaders and allies to help make that case ahead of time, and time will tell. But it is clear that we should expect in the region, at the very least, an Iranian reaction, and we may see it as soon as this weekend when some of the funerals of these individuals will start to take place. Well, it's not exactly how any of us, I think, hope to start the new year. But both of these are constitutional responsibilities to take up and reach an independent judgment on impeachment. It's why I hope the majority leader and the minority leader can come up with an appropriate plan where we can get the documents and see some of the key witnesses that could have firsthand knowledge of what took place or not took place, so the president gets a fair trial. We also have a constitutional obligation to help protect the people of the United States, and I think we'll see some rocky days, at least in region, and for American interests being under threat. We don't know for sure what Iran will do. We do know they have their own military capabilities, they have cyber capabilities, and clearly, as we've seen over the last 20 years, their willingness to use proxies in terms of other Shia and other militias. They've been very willing to do that. So I think we're going to be in for some rocky times, and I think it's really important, as much as possible in a time like this, that we remember first and foremost that we're Americans and not Republicans and Democrats.
How concerned are you that